Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be binge reading Elizabeth Lim's books. I'm starting with Spin the Dawn. It's the first book in the Blood and Stars duology. And then eventually I'm going to get into the Six Crimson Cranes trilogy. I don't know if that's what it's called. I went in blind to Spin the Dawn, so I'll try to keep this brief summary as spoiler free as I can, because sometimes I be wanting to tell y'all certain things, but it's like they were revealed to me as I kept reading, so I'm trying to hold off on that. But in this world, tailors can only be men. Women are expected to pretty much carry out more domestic type things. Our main character, Maya, she's lost some family before, and she's trying to provide for her family and also bring honor to them in a way that's not really like socially acceptable. So it's very Mulan style in execution, which I really love. I love Mulan so much. I just feel like a badass, rebellious woman is gonna eat every time, I fear. But basically, the emperor of this country or world, I'm not really sure, is holding a competition to replace his tailor that died very violently. Like, we later find out like what was going on with that. It's not like a huge thing so far, but there is discussion about like arranged marriages for peace, magic, and like some unlikely relationships along the way. And there's like not magical realism, because there's actually a magic system in here, but it's not like other fantasy worlds that I've read before. It seems like a contemporary with like magic on the side, which is not bad to me. I love this. I wouldn't know how to describe if this is character or plot driven. I would just say it's a bit of both, because I like the main character Maya, but like she's not really all that. Like, obviously, like I said, she's a rebellious, strong woman. Other than that, like personally, I don't really know that much about her. Like, I don't really have a connection to her as a character for real. I'm here to see what ends up, happening or whatever, but I'm not really invested in her right now. I am 30% in, and it's kind of reading kind of like a folktale or mythology. I don't really know the difference. It is very easy to understand, and it's fast paced. Like, I'm flying through this book. Like I said, I am at 30%, so there's not a lot of fantasy right now. Like, there is like magic and like little subliminal things going on. It's all adding up to whatever's gonna happen in this book and I guess the second book. At first I was confused on how a book about sewing was going to interest me at all, because like I literally don't care about that at all, but I'm actually really intrigued. Like, again, there's not a lot of fantasy and like a lot of really big things happening, but she's in a competition right now to become like the emperor's main tailor basically, and it's getting dicey for her. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there's going to be a little romance in my future. As a romance girly, I'm obviously stoked. I felt like it was going to be between her and someone else, but then now I'm kind of like, again, 30%. I'm thinking it's somebody else. Big hint, I'll tell you, I think they start with an E. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, I just called in. And like literally today would have been my Friday, but I'm so tired. And then I've been falling off the wagon at the gym. So I went to the gym today and I did leg day. And like I was sleeping hard just now. And like now I'm trying to fall back to sleep. Tell me why I can't go back to sleep. But a weight has been lifted off my shoulder. Yeah. I never told y'all what I do, but I work with kids that have mental and intellectual disabilities. They're kind of all preteens and teenagers, so it's just a lot of drama. The ones I work with are girls. De-escalating things all day and physical aggression. And, auntie tired. Yeah. All I can do is giggle. Hey y'all, now Maya is given this impossible task that could basically break like the peace treaty that's in place and like make the whole country go to war or whatever. So she's going on this journey. She has an escort with her, and she's really trying to deny her feelings right now. Like, girl, you be blushing in front of this person and you trying to deny you're attracted, but like you be getting little tingles and stuff. Like, please, you're only kidding yourself. I love to see it. I didn't think there was going to be like a romantic subplot type thing, and it's really keeping me intrigued because we're not really talking that much about tailoring anymore, which like surprisingly what I thought was going to be the most boring part is really interesting. The fantastical elements of the book are slowly becoming revealed and I'm learning more things, and I'm just wondering if this book is going to end on a cliffhanger before Unravel the Dusk, and also which one is going to be my favorite out of the duology. So the next time I see y'all, it'll either be like a big update or I'll be done. Hey y'all. I finished Spin the Dawn yesterday, and I'm going to give y'all my rating. Honestly, there was much deliberation that went into this because the numbers were adding up, but then they weren't. Characters 5, atmosphere 7, writing style 9, plot 6.75, intrigue 8, logic 7, enjoyment 8. That ended up being like 7.25, which ends up being 4 stars. But I think I'm going to have to make it 3.5. Like, on Goodreads, it'll still be 4, so it really doesn't even really matter. But Storygraph knows the truth. I just feel like the way the trajectory of the story at the beginning was promising, and then at the end it was like it turned into something else that like I didn't hate, but it was unnecessary and pointless. I feel like a bitch right now for saying it like that, but as a predominantly romance reader, I really didn't care about the romance, and now I'm on 30% of Unravel the Dusk, and it's not even like a really big part of the book, so I'm like, what was it for? But the things that I really enjoyed in the first book are not really here in Unravel the Dusk. So anyway, 3.5 for Spin the Dawn and now Unravel the Dusk. I'm just vibing right now. It got really action heavy. If you've read Spin the Dawn, where like one of the characters is working through like a curse type shit, and then like the piece of the country is in the hands of different people, and it's getting cray. Enjoyment right now is about like a 5 or a 6. I'm not really super invested in anything. I'm just waiting it out. I would hate that I finished this book and I feel like Spin the Dawn should have been a standalone, because that's what it's kind of giving right now. Anyways, goodbye. Hopefully I have more to say positive later. Hey y'all, I'm gonna keep this as brief as I can right quick. Well, I just lied. Okay, so real quick, I'm going to tell y'all about Unravel the Dusk. I ended up rating it 3.75 stars, character 6, atmosphere 6, writing style 9, plot 5, intrigue 7, logic 7, enjoyment 5. So really, anything that I haven't already said without like, because I'm not gonna spoil this one. I didn't really feel like having a spoilery section about this book because there's not really a lot for me to discuss. I feel like the pacing was off and completely different from the first book. If Spin the Dawn was its own book, I would have been satisfied. You did get more closure, but I enjoy Spin the Dawn a lot more. So, and then Her Radiant Curse, I'm currently on like 15% of that. I started it yesterday. First of all, let's have a moment of silence for the eatery of the cover. Like, I love this cover so much. This is probably my favorite cover out of all of Elizabeth Lim's books. Not saying like I don't give a but Elizabeth Lim, she makes a plot that I don't care about at all sound very interesting. Her writing is just very beautiful, and like to explain it better, it's more like playful. I don't know, the girlies be saying whimsical, I don't really know. And then I do see already just from reading this prequel, this is the prequel to Six Crimson Cranes, so I'm reading it that way. I can definitely see the advancement in the writing. I love the writing a lot better than I did in that duology I just read. So loving that. And then right now, I'm just not liking how like one of the girls is being paraded around to be like getting chose or whatever. I guess there's supposed to be like a contest coming up. I'll let y'all know whenever I talk about the summary, but this is just a little quick dip in and dip out type thing. This is not supposed to be this long, but right now it's Ada. Yeah, he could choke. Okay, y'all. I am going to just read the summary that Goodreads has for the book if you're interested in that. I am on chapter 5, 15%. So I do already have like a gauge of how this is going, but I haven't gotten to like the actual conflict of it yet. But right now, I'm just not really feeling with the way Chani is being treated. I feel like if I were in her situation at the age that she and her sister are, I feel like that would... I mean, she has little comments here and there, but like she overall really loves her sister. But like that would create a lot of resentment and a barrier for me. Like I would just dip off in the jungle and never come back. The way people react to her and then the way she's being like she's used, I hate that. Also, I don't know what time period this is set in, but it feels kind of old, like mythology kind of. And also, I do like Elizabeth Lim's writing. I think these are considered fantasy because there's magic in them. Oh, this is high fantasy. There's dragons in there? Oh. This is talking about two sisters. One is really beautiful and she's like gifted by the gods by her beauty, and then one is monstrous. Her face is different and it's unappealing to people because she was cursed as a child. I guess they're supposed to save each other because there's like this contest for one of the girls' like hand in marriage type thing. Something goes wrong and there's like evil going around. In the first chapter, we learned about prophecy that one sister's gonna have to fall for the other one to rise. So I feel like it's gonna be Chani. That's my prediction. I don't know, because I like underdog stories. But they're only 2 years apart, and Chani is like taking over the role of kind of like their mother. It's so much pressure on this girl. She's got to keep a mask on because no one wants to look at her face. She has to look out for her sister so much and keep like whenever I see the perspectives of her sister Vanna, she's got kind of got like this naivete, you know, like an innocence, a pure innocence that like only a child would have for real. I mean, she's still a kid, 17. It's like she never really had to work for anything. Things are handed to her because of the way she looks. I honestly would probably not want to like take care of my sister if I had to deal with all this. She's like the only reason Chani's still around. I would have just dipped off. I'm not gonna lie. Like, or took her with me. I don't know if this is gonna be super action heavy. Like Unravel the Dusk. Okay, sorry to keep going back and forth, but Unravel the Dusk, it just became like action. Like, it was just so, it was fast-paced, way more fast-paced than Spin the Dawn. But Spin the Dawn, it was just a different book. Like, I just feel like they didn't really belong together that much. Like, I don't know. I don't read a lot of duology, so I don't know how that is supposed to be for real. If there's going to be action scenes, I want them kind of, like, paced nicely to where I don't expect them every 5 seconds. Because then it's just like, okay, every scene, you know, every scene is a scene. Like, it's not like, it's not adding anything to the story. It's not keeping anything exciting because I'm already used to what's going on. Yeah, and there wasn't a whole bunch of reveals and stuff like that, so I was just kind of like, I think finally I'm done talking about Unravel the Dusk. Sorry. This one is definitely more gory and like descriptive than the other one. Like when I say gory, okay, that's not even like, it's more descriptive and stuff that's like more disgusting or like not vile. It's not that deep. Like but it's like it's gotten more intense. Also, the connections between friends and family are way more developed. I honestly just feel really bad for Chani because literally every single action of her life is for her sister, and it's like, would your sister do that for you? She does not have the depth that Chani has because Chani has sacrificed so much, and she's finally had a friend outside of her sister, and this is true friendship. Like, and it sucks because she literally has to hold stuff back and kind of like betray this friend because of what she knows and how it impacts her sister. So I don't know, y'all. This is just a prequel, so I'm just like, what the you know? I'm just really anxious. And there's just so many like demons. Like, I think Elizabeth Lim just likes writing about demons, which is fine. But there's definitely themes. Like, I think they're in the same world because I think I remember reading about like a spice road. So these are in the same universe, I believe. Hey y'all, this is me a week later. I am trying to edit the video right now so it can go up today. There was a clip that I accidentally filmed in slow motion and it will not like upload. Like, I've tried, like I airdrop stuff to my stuff all the time, like longer than 10 minutes. I shouldn't have been yapping that long. That was my lesson. So I'm gonna redo and talk about the things that I talked about there. That did not need to be a 10-minute clip. I'll try to be brief, y'all, for your sake and mine. So spoiler-free thoughts about Her Radiant Curse. Well, first, I wanted to give a moment of silence for Elizabeth Lim, the genius that you are. There's no... Why would you write it like that? Why would you write... Okay. Also, I had to recalculate my rating so many times, like 2 or 3 times, because I was so sure it was gonna be 4.25. And I'm not gonna lie, also, I was like bringing some of the 9s, like some of the things I thought were 10s, I was bringing it down because I didn't give this 5. Like, I didn't feel like it was 5, but it was damn near 5. So characters 8, atmosphere 9, writing style 9, plot 8, intrigue 8, logic 9, enjoyment 10. The pacing was slightly off for me, but I only blame myself for real because I wasn't in the right headspace to read this. I've noticed that whenever I take longer than 3 days to read a book, I'm not really like that interested in it, depending on how large it is, also, and like my time constraints in real life. But I think I read this for like 5 to 8 days or something like that. And I also am seeing a trend that I think I like the first book in her series the most because of all the setup. Her Radiant Curse, it wasn't info dumpy, but we got info like progressively. I think I like the beginning of her book so much, and then like the last one, I set myself up for like greatness and it kind of falls short for me. So then I have a couple of spoiler-free thoughts and then I have some spoilers. So I will put that as a chapter. I did grow to like Vanna a lot because when it got down to it, she was really writing for her sister. And I love a good ride or die. The whole time I was just like, oh, she's just like a vapid, innocent, naive girl that just like loves beauty and loves attention. But really it wasn't even about that. Everything that she was doing was for her sister too. That's crazy. My favorite character was Ukar. I really just love Sidekick so much and he was funny. That's really all I have to say that's spoiler-free. So on to the spoilers. Vanna using compulsion magic? Like, I really didn't understand the extent of the Dragon Pearl's power, but I was shook. I was shook. And then the Freaky Friday tiger moment? Emotions were high. The tension was so thick. You could cut it. Like, I was anxious. Like, my heart. Also, the romance was so sweet. I wasn't expecting it, but I really enjoyed it. I'm so sorry for, like, comparing the duology to this one all the time, but the Blood and Stars one, like that romance, it was unnecessary. Like this one, it snuck up on you and it was sweet and slow. We got a kiss at 80%. We had a handhold. Then there was betrayal. Then there was demonness. But still the romance ate. And I'm so mad. Well, okay, this is a spoiler for the people that have not finished 6 Crimson Cranes. If you've not read The Dragon's Promise, like skip a little bit. The fact that they didn't even get back together, Crommelin and fucking Chani, they just both died. Back to business. Her Radiant Curse. Crommelin, when I catch you. Also, I heard that this was the stepmom story, and like the whole time I was reading this, I was like, okay, when is this Lin Tong bitch gonna become important? Like, is she gonna do anything? The whole time it was fucking Chani. But that's really all I had to say. I gave it 4.75 stars. It was great. It was great. Then I think in that 10-minute clip, I tried to explain 6 Crimson Cranes, which like, I don't really know how to explain that without telling a spoiler. So I'm going to read what's on Google. Penniless, voiceless, and alone, Shiori searches for her brothers and uncovers a dark conspiracy to seize the throne. Only Shiori can set the kingdom to rights, but to do so, she must place her trust in a paper bird, a mercurial dragon, and the very boy she fought so hard not to marry. So yeah, there's sorcery in here. There's a lot of double crossings and things. Hey y'all, I've been reading, honestly, ever since the other day, whenever I had recorded in slow-mo, I've been so traumatized. Like, I feel like I'm recording everything in slow-mo. Anyway, I'm still on like 25%. I haven't gotten farther than what I last told y'all, but I'm really liking this series more, I think. Like, there's a lot of lore that's the same, but I'm just really liking how it's progressing more. It's definitely upgraded more than that duology. Yeah, also, I don't know if I told y'all, but in that series there was like a little romance that was like very short and abrupt, and I didn't really like the way that unraveled because I feel like it shouldn't it shouldn't have really happened for real because it didn't really aid in the story. Like, she could have just made a really, really good friend and the stakes could have still been high. You know what I mean? Right now, she got dropped off at this island after being cursed. And she's like this maid, well, not this maid, what are they called? Not wait staff. But she basically is like the help child. She's cleaning and stuff. She's doing stuff for, like, she does everything, honestly. She cooks, she cleans, she cuts a lump of wood. I don't know. And then a part of the curse is that, like, she can't let anybody know who she is. She can't speak any words or her brother's gonna die. And then she also cursed her and put this bowl on her head, which, like, at first I was like, what the fuck, bowl? And, like, I thought it was just gonna be like, oh, you know how sometimes people describe something in books and it's just like it only was relevant in the moment. Literally everyone that's coming across her is talking about this goddamn bowl. I did not think it was going to be such a big part of the story. And I think it's so funny because, like, I'm just imagining, like, a thick ass wooden bowl. It's wooden bowl on her face. And, like, apparently you can still see her eyes a little bit, but, like, her face is shadowed. So I'm like, can someone just, like, get underneath and look real quick? Do y'all not know what y'all princess look like? It seems like this one might have some romance because she just met this man and this man reads. And that's really all I've got right now. She's, like, saying that his voice is, like, charming and musical, like, so, and he's so sweet. And I've only known him for like 3 pages, but I think that's her man. Yeah. Don't worry, this is spoiler free. But I'm trying to figure out if what's his name is Saryu's grandpa, because I've been waiting for him to come back into the story since I read Her Wedding Curse. Again, this is spoiler free. I'm just trying to work it out. If you read it, you know what I'm talking about. I've been waiting. And then just now, they're trying to get this, like, dangerous thing off the mountain to, like, make a dragon net or whatever so they can get the dragon pearl from the enchantress. It's getting dicey, y'all. It's only 30%. And I'm just really like, what is Raikama's motive? This is not the person I know. You know? I just don't get it. Death really hardened her heart, and I'm just shook. Because, like, are we going to come back to it later and she'll be like, I did this for your good. Bitch, no, you didn't. So what I'm trying to figure out is, if you have 6 wiser and older brothers that tell you one thing, why do you immediately do the other thing? And you're not strong enough to even protect yourself. So, girl, she done became another servant. And that man that I was like, oh, that's her man. Literally, in another life, that's her man. I love that for me. They will find themselves back together, and they will be together. If it's not going to be her and that man, it's going to be her and her little dragon friend. Just like her mama. Yeah. So, I did get to 60% earlier today, after I had updated y'all. And I'm really liking it. Like, the pacing is pacing. It seems like I've had this thing with plenty of books. So, I'm not trying to put it on Elizabeth Lim's books, but, like, I don't be interested until we get past 30%, because it's all the setup for the most part. 60%, I'm getting into the groove. I'm liking it. And yeah, I've got 2 hours left of the book, so wish me luck. Y'all, it done got tense. This is my second or third Elizabeth Lim book that has made me cry or tear up a little bit. I'm in the last 40 minutes of the book. I have been neglecting my body. I'm hungry, but I need to get through this. And then I will relax and rest. There's been deceit. There's been someone, like, basically, this whole time I've been having, like, mistrust towards this person. I'm like, oh, you're up to no good. Like, you're up to no good. People have been getting set up. People have been dying. People have been poisoned. And then we just heard somebody speak. It done got down to the wire, and Kiki was like, girl, if I die, you die. Like, if you're not scared, I'm not going to be scared. I would never leave your side. What? That's what made me cry? My eyes are tearing up. Can't tell if you can see that. What? No. 40 minutes left. I'm so glad I'm reading this whenever everything is done, because I'm going to be reading Dragon's Promise, like, immediately. Wow. Hey. I haven't cried like this to a book in such a long time. I'm actually crying. Like, I'm actually crying. Usually I do like a little tear up, but I just did a little shudder cry. What the I'm still 10 minutes away from being done. I'm done. I'm done. Cut the show. Cut the fucking show. What the the genius that you are, Elizabeth Lim. I feel like this is giving Is it And I will say, you do need to read the duology. If you're going to read her books in order, I would say read the Blood and the Stars duology, because you get the lore of like the enchanters and the demons and the amulets and like the dragon pearl for real. Is the dragon pearl in that one? I don't know. They're all getting blended in together for real. She's too powerful, I fear. She's too powerful. Elizabeth Lim, you are the sorceress. No, yes. Ah! No, I'm recording this because every time I have a reaction, I don't get it on camera. In the arms of the angel, fly away from here. Must we lose everyone we care about? Okay, y'all, I'm going to do the ratings here in a little bit, so I'm going to put a chapter up. This is spoilers. This is spoilers. I need to talk to the people that have read. So if you have not read it and you don't want to be spoiled, exit. Bandor? The way she connected the story. And then Zyrina being Guia? And then I was like, this ain't the Chani that I know. This ain't Chani. This ain't Chani. This ain't Chani. Like, there's no way she just had a heart full of love and sorrow, and then she turned it into that. She had a stepmother that she didn't fuck with. So I was like, what? What happened? And now you see it was all for protection, but I'm like, girl, you should just open up your mouth. They went through years of deceit. They both lost their best friends. I cried when Kiki was like, I'll be with you forever. I cried when Reikama, Chani, was like, I'm sorry I ever said that you weren't a child of mine. Like, you're not a child in blood, but you're my daughter in heart. Elizabeth Lim, do you enjoy seeing me suffer? Because why would you kill Chani? Not me choking up. Why would you kill Chani? We lost Vanna, which, I'm sorry, I started caring about her at the end. But Chani. And then the moment when Shiori spoke, I was like, oh, bitch, you just killed your brothers. You just killed your brothers. Just to find out that she broke her own There's so many highlights. I'm trying to see. Takan's dagger. And for it to be like her betrothed, and then her being the bloodsake, I still don't really understand that part. Like, I understand pretty much the mechanics of everything else, but why would they make it to be that blood would open up a chasm that releases demons? Like, who made that? Who did that? I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything. But isn't that crazy? Guia has literally been in that girl's life for so long. I'm like, what? This is crazy. And like, I don't feel like it's a 5-star because the first like 35%, I was just like, okay. But then when it got into it and it finally started like really, I don't know. I need to deliberate on this. I need to process this. I don't know. She needed me to hate her so she could hide me from the wolf. When I learned that danger might come to you, I swore I would do whatever it took to protect you. The way I couldn't protect Vanna made me cry. Memories that would make you smile, even when you came to despise me. The sadness in her voice made it impossible for me to be angry with her. She was the only mother I had known. But then she promised me that she'll only give to the dragon with the strength to make it whole once more. And I'm like, okay, so it's got to be her dragon. It's got to be Crommelon. It's got to be him, because Seryu, it wouldn't be him. He's too young. And then the Dragon King, I don't know. He's so mad. Maybe it is him, because he's old now. Well, I don't know, child. I don't know. I feel like he's going to have to come back if Bandor was here. That's crazy. All right. Well, let me try to give it a rating as best I can, and then I guess get back to you. Yeah. Okay, y'all. I have deliberated, and I wasn't really sure if I liked her Radiant Curse more, but it really was the foundation of so much. Like, I don't know. I don't know. This was giving more 5 than her Radiant Curse low-key, but like her Radiant Curse had better pacing, so they are both 4.75. Yeah. Very close, but there was always a little something, you know? Characters for 6 Crimson Cranes, I gave 8.5. Honestly, because we were only in Shiori's head, and I was kind of wanting to be in different point of views sometimes. We were only in her point of view, and I didn't really feel like I knew a lot of other people as much. We never really, I don't think we would have wanted her brother's point of views, but maybe Takan's, I don't know. Or maybe Seryu, to see like where the fuck he goes whenever he's gone. Or maybe even Reikama. yeah. Atmosphere 8, writing style 10, plot 7. I'm not really sure whenever I think about pacing if I want to include that in the writing style or the plot. I guess that would be more writing style. I don't know, but like she eats. I had to put 10. Plot, I did 7 to include like the pacing at the beginning because it dragged a little bit, but it is the beginning of a fantasy series. I'm like, Intrigue 9, logic 8, enjoyment 10. That ended up being 8.64, which is 4.75. Yeah, y'all. That was crazy. Would I do it again? Yes. But wow. I'm never gonna get that back. That first time. Wow. And I just can't already wait to reread it. Like, I'm not probably gonna do it this year. I don't know. But I really cannot wait. Like, I'm gonna see connecting the dots. Oh wow. Well, okay. I might not talk to y'all for the rest of the day. I'm gonna try to start Dragon's Promise, but not promising. See y'all around. Okay, hey y'all. I am on 40% of the book and I really want to finish it. The Dragon's Promise is the last book of the video that I'll be reading. Not the villain from the last duology tormenting the people in this one, even though, okay, so I'm kind of confused about the order. I think I already told y'all that. I talked to Ozzy about it and I was trying to recommend like what reading order I think y'all should read it in, because so I liked her Radiant Curse. It was very fast paced. There was a lot of action. And then the rest of the Six Crimson Cranes, like original duology, and then reading the Blood of Stars or the Blood and Stars duology by Elizabeth Lim, Spin the Dawn and Unravel the Dusk, in the regular order that goes in, but after, because I guess Spin the Dawn, so Six Crimson Cranes is like, I think Ozzy said like centuries later or like a century later or something like that, but Spin the Dawn explains like all the lore like better. Like I feel like Six Crimson Cranes, like Six Crimson Cranes, like say that 5 times fast, please. But it tells you like stuff, like explains stuff, but like it's kind of like seems like you already kind of know some things, and it's just really gradually like you're learning what means what, like the Dragon's Pearl stuff. Like I'm still learning things. Yeah, I don't know. I have to figure out. I tried to look up like did anyone do a video on it, or did Elizabeth Lim talk about like an exact reading order, because I mean I guess you could read it by publication date, but it's just like you have to keep things in mind about what things already took place basically. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's been weird. Like she was kind of like in this underwater dragon realm for a second that was giving like Atlantis vibes to me. She already dealing with corrupt government bodies of law, backwards deals and shit like that. And she's really trying to keep her promise that she kept to someone on their dying wish, is all I will say. I won't say no names, but yeah, girl, this is, and I got tense. I think I have like 3 hours left of the book, so if I don't finish it at work, I'm gonna stay up tonight and I'm gonna finish it because today's my Friday. Okay, sorry, bye. Hey y'all, so I did finish the Dragon's Promise. Characters 8, atmosphere 10, writing style 9, plot 8, intrigue 7.5, logic 7, enjoyment 9. Although this book took me only 3 days to read, I felt like so many parts of it did drag for me, which I guess that's why it got to 4.5, because the rest of the series has been 4.75s. I didn't feel like this was going to be 5. I didn't feel like any of them really gave 5 for real. They were really close, the first two. And now that I'm like reflecting on it, I feel like her Radiant Curse probably would have been more, because I just felt like it was just like, it was almost everything for me. And I do like how Elizabeth Lim writes romance, because I'm so used to people, I read a lot of like erotica, I read like different ranges of romance. Like I read like open door, closed door, whatever you want to call anything like that. But like, I like how it was like slow burn romances in all of her duologies or series or whatever. I get so confused because her Radiant Curse is a prequel, but it came out after the duology already was established. So like, I don't want to keep calling it a duology, but like, it's a series. But yeah, I don't know what I was saying. I kind of just woke up. I've been really exhausted these last couple of days, and I'm about to do a 24-hour readathon literally immediately after this. So we will see how that goes. Anyway, what was I talking about? I feel like parts of it dragged. Oh well, let's do my overall, So first I did read Spin the Dawn. I gave that one 4 stars. That was when we were following Maya and she was trying to be like the Emperor's tailor, and it's a male dominated profession, but she snuck through. There's trials and tribulations through that. There was a lot of action scenes. Surprisingly, I did not think there was going to be so much action in there. And then there was like lore about dragons and demons. So yeah, Then next I read Unravel the Dusk. I gave that one 3.75 stars. I think the pacing was a lot different than Spin the Dawn. I feel like every scene almost was action, and it wasn't really like a build up to anything. It was just like, okay, this is the fighting book, and the other one was just like the setup. But I felt like Spin the Dawn at some points, it could have just been a standalone for real. Unravel the Dusk, it did give us closure, but I was just like, it wasn't really that needed for me personally, so it did get less. Her Radiant Curse, this was Chani's story. I did give that one 4.75 stars. And then Six Crimson Cranes, I gave 4.75 stars as well. And then lastly, The Dragon's Promise, 4.5. And I would just like to say, Elizabeth Lim, I definitely would read anything by her. Like, I would read anything by her. If she would decide to write a horror book, I would read that. And that's saying a lot because I don't have any interest in reading a horror book. Sometimes I think about doing it for a video, but like, I don't want to put myself through that. There's certain things like I don't want to do for content. And spooking myself is not one of them. There's better ways to spook myself. Like, literally thrillers give me like a little like, you know, and sometimes those don't even be for real like that. So yeah, I love this. I love this so much. Like, author binging really for me is for me to read someone that I've been wanting to read for a while and then hopefully fall in love with their writing and add them to my collection. That's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have read, if you got to this far, obviously give it a like. But please leave a comment of your favorite Elizabeth Lim book if you've read anything by her, and if you haven't, any book that you were interested in reading if you're interested. Yeah. Thank y'all so much. I hope to see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.